Yo, what is going on, guys? That's by Gaming back once again in GTNH, in episode 12. And today we're going to start off right away. I have a whole bunch of stuff prepared, and we're going to start building. So I have all my stuff for the oil processing ready and sitting in here, and we're going to go through it. I'll show you each step of it. Down here is the heavy oil stuff. I have an MV electrolyzer for different purposes. We'll show you all the tips and tricks, all things I've learned, and hopefully we'll get something pretty decent going. I'm not going to say this is the best way to do it, but this is the way that I'm going to do it. As I'm setting this up, there's a couple things going through my mind. The main thing is separation of the LV and the MV machines. Some of the machines are requiring MV for the recipes. So, for example, this one. Sulfuric heavy fuel needs to be an MV distillery. That's not a whole MV amperage. That's only 72, not 128. So we're going to be able to share the wires a bit. So we're going to be able to do that. So I want to be able to separate the wires in a way where they can't possibly accidentally touch, so I don't accidentally blow up my machines. So for the most part, we're going to do up one block for MV, down for the LV. And we'll do it that way. And I think this should work out pretty well for all the ins and outs of all the wiring and piping. The other thing I have to consider is the whole hydrogen feedback loop I'm going to be doing. Which I don't know if there's a good way to do this without making two electrolyzers. Let me think about this for a minute. Because to desulfurize both of the fuels, you need hydrogen cells. And this is going to go to H2S. I mean, it's not the end of the world to make two electrolyzers. And then you get two hydrogen cells back, as well as a sulfur dust. And what I'm getting at is there's no way to tell this, say, round robin, put two cells here, put two cells there. And, you know, it's not the end of the world to make another one of these. Let me just do it. Okay, this is quickly ballooned into complexity a little bit. Working with the single block machines is not that simple. It's kind of like a puzzle you got to put together. And for the most part, I have it figured out right here. So this is the heavy fuel line. We start off with a drawer full of raw oil sands. And I'll replace that with the barrel later because they look better for now. Eventually, you can make the drawers look however you like, so they kind of get better. I think the upgrades are slightly better for them too. But yeah, the oil comes into here. Oil sands, that is. This gets centrifuged. The liquid output, fluid auto output, we go into a small pipe, into the distillery. In the distillery, it gets distilled on circuit 1 into sulfuric heavy fuel. The sulfuric heavy fuel needs to be desulfurized, so we go over to a chemical reactor. This has 2 hydrogen cells in it. I mean, maybe we'll up it to 4 just to make sure we have enough, but I think 2 is fine. And this is on item auto output. So the item is autoing out of the back of here. And this recipe is 2 hydrogen cells in circuit 4, gets you an H2S and a empty cell. So both of those are going to go to the electrolyzer, where an H2S cell and an empty cell equals 2 sulfur and 2 hydrogen cells, which is great. So then we have the items going out of the top of the electrolyzer. One of them is going to a filtered barrel, which is just a locked barrel here with hydrogen cells. The other one to sulfur dust. And the same goes for the other side. You can see we have this pointing up. And then item auto output is on, and we're going to be able to go and desulfurize there in the same way. I wanted these split though, so I can make sure I have the line here at the top split. So the sulfur will go to the same spot, but the 2 hydrogen cells will get recycled to 2 different points. And then the same goes for here. We're going to make the light fuel here though, the sulfuric light fuel, desulfurize it here using hydrogen, 2 of them that is. And then same deal. So we're going to output on the back with hydrogen cells. And then they go into the electrolyzer. And then for the wiring, I put the MV machines on the second level, as you can see, so that there's a wire going down the middle here. Not all these are going to run simultaneously. This distillery is going to run the most, so we might want like 2 amps of MV in here, because these are going to run a bit. These aren't going to run the same time. I don't care if they power fail because there's not enough MV. I don't care. Same goes for this. This is going to run once in a while when we have enough accumulated fuel, which I didn't get to that yet. But on both of the chemical reactors at the end of the lines, we have pumps that are taking the output. So this is heavy fuel. This is going to go into here. And we only have 1 slot in the single blocks for a liquid capacity. So on this side, we have the liquid coming up over to here. It's going to go into a ultra low voltage fluid tank, where there's going to be a couple cells in here. I don't know, we'll put like, I don't know, like 6 or something. Let's see how many we need. Looks like 5. But it doesn't hurt to do a couple extra, just so you have it's ready when it's ready, in case you want to do multiple recipes at the same time. But yeah, these cells are going to be in here. These go down to the hopper. Once they get filled, that is. So they get filled by the light fuel in here. These move to the output, go through the hopper, into the mixer. Mixer's auto outputting items. The empty cells get returned. And then out here is going to be the diesel. So I'll make a buffer tank for this as well. ULV tank's probably not big enough. I don't know, we'll make something simple. Maybe the ULV tank is it for now. And we'll just use the pipes to buffer it, basically. It doesn't need to be gigantic at the moment. But yeah, that's the setup. Okay, now I need to fork this line because there's one more thing I want to do. And let me see how I'm going to do. Let's see how I'm going to decide to do that. All right, we're going to finish this idea in a little bit. Because first off, let's get our power going. So this is going to be a naphtha to polyethylene line. And that'll just be an alternative oil processing line that we'll use occasionally to make polyethylene. But yeah, I think right now we're going to jumpstart this system. So let's decide how we're going to do that. We have an MV line and then a LV line down below. So I guess we're going to transformer it. Yes, voltage in MV, voltage out LV. Okay. And these are all like this is the LV like superconductor. So we have no cable loss down here, which is great because they're a little bit finicky. Like if you have a little bit of cable loss, you're going to start messing things up in LV. Okay, and then I think I've determined that I want 3 amps of MV in this system. Not sure. Maybe we'll try to get away with 2 for now. And we'll see if things are power failing. I think that's a good move, because maybe this stuff doesn't run often enough to justify 3 of these all at once going. Now the question is when we're going to put these. Hold up. Okay, we're going to jumpstart the system with creosote again. Let's make sure our backup ended. When you make a mess of machines like this, you need to be careful. I think I've thought everything through properly, but you know, sometimes you don't always... Your brain's not always on. Okay, we're running. This is very clearly the bottleneck. For that system, at least. Which I guess there's a similar bottleneck over here, because this takes a while, too. We could add more distilleries. That's pretty easy to do. I think I actually planned in case I needed to. Yeah, I have 2 extras. We can make more of these if... Well, we don't know which one's going to lose the race. Because I didn't do the math. I just said, screw it. Let's just see what happens. So, you know, let's see which one loses the race. I don't know which one is going to be running first. This chemical reactor or this one. It kind of looks like the other one, but... Let's watch it. I have to go get more creosote. We ran out of power. So another important thing to note about this system is that currently it is going to be fed by the same like power source it is creating. That's not going to last for long. Pretty soon I want to have a separate line for biodiesel and a separate line, which biodiesel is going to be 100% automated, 100% renewable. But I guess like the oil-based fuels, like the diesel fuel, is going to be like the power fuel that's based on non-renewables. So that's my kind of theory, where like the backbone of the base is going to be like things like this that must run, otherwise I'm going to lose my base, are going to be powered by completely renewable 100% uptime processes. So eventually this line is going to be filled with something completely renewable, which I think that's a pretty good way to go about it. None of these recipes have run yet. We probably need a lot of creosote to get this going. These are actually keeping pretty good pace with each other right now. This needs 12,000 to desulfurize. This needs 8,000. So that's 3,000 away right now. This is 5,000 away right now. Yeah, they're pretty close. I'm going to add another distillery, I think. Just one more to speed this up. But that would have ran already, and this is only 5/8 of the way there. I guess it's like 3/4 of the way there. To make it perfect... No, I don't think I care about making it perfect. We're just going to make it work. Okay, both of them are running now. We are breaking apart the hydrogen. Hydrogen is coming back. All right, that works perfectly. Oh, we should already be mixing. We're already close to mixing. Yeah, there we go. We have fuel now. Okay, that's incredible. We did it. For now, we're just going to throw a low voltage tank here, I guess, just to act as a small buffer. Actually, no, I'm not. There's no point. I'll just use the pipes. What's 32,000, you know? But just use the pipes. Okay, so this can loop back into itself. And we're going to start building up. Okay, the only thing that I'm not aware of... Hello? It's not letting me connect it. It was doing that because that was technically the front of the machine. I should have placed the mixer with the front being somewhere else. I guess the front could have been right here, where this pipe is now, but whatever, it's fine. We just used 2 extra potent pipes. Okay, now we're going to shutter all the pipes, because it looks like this is going to be the final setup. And we're good. We're going to let this fill up, so it just has to cycle for a bit. So the one thing that I don't know, actually, is how many combustion generators this is going to be able to support. But it does seem like the main bottleneck is the distillery, so we could scale this up a little bit more. And then by the time that we're done with that, we'll be into HV, and we get to remake this, but for HV. So this is perfect for our means at the moment. Okay, cool. So now we can make more combustion generators, and therefore have larger power output. And you know what you do with more power output? You do more blast furnacing, you do more processing, and that's going to loop back into itself, and we're going to get better and better. So we're going to continue moving on. I'm going to run some new pipes for the main line of fuel, and hopefully by then this will buffer up a little bit more. So we have what will hopefully be the final expansion of the early tier base. So I just made a little bit of a random color palette. Don't really care what it looks like, but we have a new area. This is where the multis are going to go for like early HV. So our blast furnace is going to go here. Vacuum freezer can go back here. And we have the fuel lines running overhead, which are going to come down to where they got to go. My next machines will be going over here. And then on this side over here, we're going to start building up our polyethylene system, because it's good to have the polyethylene going. We need it for a lot of reasons. And now is as good of a time as ever to start doing it. So let me decide how I want to set this up, and then we'll execute on it. There we go. I got this all set up. Took me a little bit to figure it out, but it's okay. I mean, it didn't really take me that long. Just placement, and then the hydrogen recycle loop is the same thing as the other ones over here again. So yeah, it's set up pretty good. Oil goes in here, transformed into sulfuric naphtha. 2 hydrogen to desulfurize it. H2S goes back and around. Does it? Hold on, did I mess that up? Yeah, I did. Hold on, that's on the wrong one. That's okay, we just fix it like that. Yeah, so the H2S goes to the back and then up and around. You know, I don't think I have a way for the fluid to get out, right? I did put the pump on. Okay, you can see it in the Wayla at the bottom right. So electric pump into here. So then we have steam cells that are going to get manually put in here, which I didn't put them in yet, but let's put a couple in. Not sure how long they're going to last me, but we'll put 16. Thankfully, we have a plentiful steam supply, as you can see. So we can just go and throw these over there. And then the other thing that we need, I believe, is oxygen. Yeah, it's definitely oxygen. I'm just trying to remember it all. Which we should still have some as well. Maybe I used it all. Yeah, it kind of seems like I did. But we can get more oxygen in just a moment. I have a sciencer just to remind me of what I have to do. So the steam cells are going to steam crack the naphtha. And the best one, at least the best one I've memorized, is the severely steam cracked naphtha. So that's circuit 3. And then you take that in a distillery with circuit 10, and then you get ethylene. So we also have a byproduct, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. But we have a byproduct of the small, tiny particles of carbon. So we'll have that go in there. I have to throw another pump on here, and then O2 cells will go in here, and then we'll be done. Pretty easy. Not that bad, at least for this point in the game for me. And it's all powered by 1 combustion generator. So easy enough. Probably don't even need that whole thing. Like, we could add a little bit more to this line since all these machines are running simultaneously. Maybe I want to throw... No, the ruby juice is too much. We'll maybe put some other small additions onto this at some point. Not sure exactly what. Maybe the oxygen maker setup, because I want to get... Let me go see it. I have a ton of this limonite, which is going to be turned into oxygen, and I kind of want a way to just set it and forget it, not to babysit the system. Let me double check how to deal with it. Is it centrifuge? I don't remember. Okay, yeah, it is. And you also get hydrogen. We could deal with a whole bunch of this right now. Oh, that's tantalite. Yeah, let's do 2 stacks of it. And I'll do a bunch more of it later on as well. Did a little multitasking. We come back to a whole bunch of polyethylene. Very nice. So this works pretty well. Pretty simple system. Just gotta make sure we stock up the steam and the O2 whenever we need this, which is not a huge deal. I'm gonna work on a bigger tank for oxygen. Probably pretty soon. I don't know when. But I need to do it because you need oxygen for a lot of different stuff right now. So my next project, while I was waiting on that, I was multitasking on the blast furnaces over here. So I made a whole bunch of input hatches and input buses and things like that. And I'm just trying to figure out the pattern, you know, to how I want to set these up. Because, I mean, in a perfect world, I want these to be tileable. But it's a little bit annoying. I guess I could access the underground portion of it. I'm undecided currently on where all the things are going to go. Because if you tile these, like, side by side forever, your edges like this need to be pretty much not filled in with useful things. Or I guess it's not even the proper... Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. That was correct. See, I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay these out. So each of them needs a unique maintenance hatch, and they all need a muffler hatch as well. And then they're sharing the energy hatches in the middle, because the energy hatches could do 2 MV amps each. The purpose of these is not going to be to upclock to the next tier. These are going to be like my production EBFs. And I'll have one EBF that I want to jump a tier up, probably, is what the plan is going to be. And then I'll just let that run while I do other things. And then these are just going to produce at the current tier that I'm at. Which I think makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I got to decide where to put the rest of these hatches, which I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, the output is in the middle, because all 4 of these could just share it, because the output's quite slow, and then it'll go to a chest over here. So let me decide where else to put all these. I also have a stack of coils, which is very nice. Probably gonna need a little bit more machine casing, but I could cook that up while I'm thinking. Okay, it's solved, but we're totally broke now. We used all our resources to do this. So on the bottom, there's really only one block that's unique to each of the structures for the blast furnace, so that's the one that is the maintenance hatch. Middle one is the output. These are the inputs. Those are the hatches, so those are shared by the 2 of the EBFs. I think I've explained it already. But yeah, it's all figured out, and this was going to work perfectly. They're all formed, and they're all happy. So now we just got to supply stuff to them. And I guess we're just going to start doing aluminum through it. And then we get full-time send this... Oh, you know what I'm going to do? We can full send... Where's my dolly? We're going to send this entire barrel on top of the hopper. And we're just going to say go for it now. Because that's the only job this thing needs to do right now. Is to make us more aluminum. Okay, so now I just need to get more things to supply to the furnaces. And we're chilling. Which, yeah, it's doable. I just need to keep going. That works. That works for me. Alright, now we got 4 times blast furnaces running. Are we gonna go? Oh, we need circuit. Don't we? No, we don't. Okay, yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Perfection. And I just threw the chest down there because I actually have 0 tin left right now. We have 0. So we need to go mining really badly. But that's good, because while we mine... That's zinc, not iron. While we mine, we're going to be able to go and let the resources build back up that require more time from the blast furnace. So by the time that I'm back, we'll have a bunch more aluminum and a bunch more steel. And we'll be able to keep going. So I need copper, I need tin. I'm good on nickel. We're gonna need a lot more gold. That's kind of unfortunate, but I have an idea to get more of that. But it does involve crops, which is quite slow, which means we're gonna slow down a bit. But it's okay because it'll pay off in the long run. Okay, let me organize and figure out what I want to do. I guess we're just going mining. Okay, we're moving over the ruby juice to this line. This runs so infrequently that I don't really care that this is going to be messing up this area over here. So we're probably going to power fail occasionally, but I don't really think it matters. Because this really only runs like once in a blue moon. Same with this as well. Like, this is not going to be constant for right now. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay, we're in a better spot now. We're making a lot of resources all at the same time. Pretty much just restocking whatever we can. We're at a respectable amount of materials now. Not where I need to be, but we're getting there. Aluminum is cooking constantly now at a 4x rate. Yeah, that's so great. Look at how much aluminum we got. I went through all my sodalite already, so we got to get another source of it. I think I have more to process, honestly. Yeah, we're making stacks on stacks of aluminum now, and it's feeling pretty good. Yeah, we can start going through the sodalite now. The lazurite is what I went through. Sodalite is interesting because it has chlorine in it, so we're gonna need a way to store that. Which I can just make I can make a tank for it or a big cell for it, you know. Okay, the next project that I'm doing, this is the blast furnace. It's gonna run +1 tier up. So currently that's HV, so we're gonna have an HV blast furnace here. Put that together like so. I think I have everything that I need to do this. All that we're missing are the generators now. And I guess the pipe going to the generators, which is not a big deal to accomplish. Yeah, now that we have the aluminum being made in a way that makes sense, or at like a rate that is good, is probably the better terminology. We can build that stuff pretty easily. So let's cook up 4 of those. I don't have them bookmarked. What are they called? The combustion generators. This should be the last 4 of these I have to make. So we're almost at the end of the MV circuits. At least the bad recipes. We're doing a very large batch of circuits again right now. And the purpose I'm doing this just to get more MV circuits is I need to make a whole bunch of the combustion generators. But it's also going to be useful in general. We're making the good circuits and the electronic circuits because they're a bit cheaper for me right now. Yeah, that's the main reason. Because, I mean, this is kind of like dirt cheap at this point. We also unlocked a better recipe for circuit boards. Polyethylene, you get 16. So we're in a good spot with all those. And then to make the good circuit boards, we're going to go for the better recipe now as well. Which means we got to do a whole batch of iron 3 chloride. And to do this... Yeah, I'm already making the HCl required. So we plop down a new chemical reactor right here. And we're just kind of shuffling the cells around to where they gotta go. I'll make a whole bunch of it right now. It probably won't last me that long, but we'll try to do our best. Okay, we're ready to start cooking up. Finish all the combustion generators. These are gonna get placed like this. A little something like that. And then we gotta hook up the pipes. Let me just do this real quick. And then we start cooking up some Canthal. Among other things, but Canthal's the most important thing right now because that's gonna be what progresses us. Okay, we're going. So those fill up with fuel and then we can get started. Should be pretty good. And yeah, we're gonna supply oxygen to this just to help it out as well. It's gonna save us a lot in the long run. So let's take a look. So with oxygen, you save 15 seconds, but also a ton of EU. That's kind of the reason I want to do it. It's not that hard to get, but I don't know, we just need to keep supplying it. I had a way to get a lot of oxygen, but I forgot it. It was electrolyzing something that I wanted to electrolyze anyways, but I don't remember what it was. But I mean, we have tons of the iron to do, and plenty of other things to get rid of. I set the circuit wrong. Really good at Greg Tech. Okay, while that cooks, we did something else at the same time, which was making distilled water in the distillery. I did that for this purpose, for the mixer, to make IC2 coolant. Did I get rid of my mixer? I guess I did. Let's make a new one. Perfect. Okay, we're making the coolant now. Oh, are we? This is gonna fail, isn't it? Actually, no, these are capable to work together, right? It's close. It's close. Alright, so the coolant is needed to cool down the hot ingots that we're going to be making, which maybe we have one done just to show you what it looks like. If I remember where my output is. Yeah, okay, so we have some hot ingots in there. Those need to be cooled manually currently, so we're going to cool them in the chemical bath, I believe. I think that's the route you need to go through. Yeah, that makes sense because it's in the chemical bath line here. Looks like we can make this to vent the heat down. I didn't even know that. Oh, there, we just power failed. You hear that? So wait, what is this? A low-tech method to cool down the hot coolant is to use vent covers. Maybe we'll figure out how that works. Let me craft that, and we'll try to mess with it with this. That'll be the last thing I do today. All right, trick with this to not get burned is just throw it in your backpack real quick. Okay. Then I take my coolant that I'm making right now. We put it in here, and we'll see if it cools it down. I've never seen this done before. Oh, it's going to take a whole minute to do that. Okay, let's give it a second. So if I'm understanding this correctly, I put water here. Then I flew it out there. And that should cool it down. I have no idea how this works, guys. I thought I read that right. Place the cover in any Greg Tech block which can contain ice-2 coolant and place water in front. What? Oh, maybe it's slow. Yeah, there, it did it. Okay. All right, we could do all that. Only problem is that it's not going to keep layering this in. So I got to wait for all this to be expended, then I can cool it down, because otherwise it's not going to work right. Because if I try to pipe this out automatically, it's going to get the hot coolant stuck in the pipe. It's just not going to work right. It needs to be a little bit of a batch process. So it's okay. We can do all that. For now, you're going to stop. You are going to start. You two are going to start back again. And yeah, we're looking good. We're going to start going through chrome like crazy. That was the only big thing. Also oxygen, but it's okay. I might just go for the more expensive route on this, because it's going to be annoying running back and forth. It only contains 16 liters. We'll just put it to 1, and then we'll let it go. The oxygen is that's a bit of a stretch right now for me. We'll just let it go and multitask. It's less efficient, but whatever. We have plenty of stuff right now. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today, guys. We did a lot. We got a lot done. A lot of progression. Almost done with MV. One more episode probably, and we'll be over it. It's just a bit of a time gate for me now to get to the blast furnace materials that I need. Maybe in the meantime, I could start working on color palettes and gathering blocks. Because I don't want to live in this like temporary like hole in the wall anymore. I want to get to a more official place. We're probably still gonna build in this like direct area. We're just gonna go in a slightly different direction and rebuild things in a more efficient way. So we're probably just gonna move over from here to like over here, you know? Maybe I'll drain the lake or something, who knows? Or just build on top of it. I'll try to figure something out. Might be a little bit longer until the next episode then. I'm not sure then. We'll have to see. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll be brainstorming because I want to play a lot over Thanksgiving break. It should be pretty good for me. But that's about it for me for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you guys have a good day. See you next time.